So welcome back folks, this is Shardul Gavande and today I am going to start with BSc IT Computer Network Practicals. Okay, so you can see over here, this is the syllabus of SY BSc IT Computer Networking. So I'll be starting with this IP configure IP static routing. Okay, so before starting with the practicals, we need to before understanding the practicals, we need to have a particular software called as Cisco Packet Tracer. So over here in this software, we will be performing our practicals. So why we are using this software? So in order to create a network and test it. Well, on paper we can't create a network, or if we can create, we can't test that particular network. So for that reason we have this Cisco Packet Tracer. So I think this is my version 5. Okay, so yeah, it's version 5.3.0. So depending on different versions, you have you can say a different layout or view of the software. Fine. So starting with the IP static routing, before performing this practical, let us first see how to connect, create a network and configure it, because without that you will not understand how to route a particular packet using IP static routing. Okay, so we'll configure a network. So this is our routers. Okay, let me give you an overview of this software. So we have over here a router, 1841 generic router, different types of routers we have. Then over here in the end devices, we have PCs which we will be using. A PC is nothing but a computer. Fine. We have a switches over here, different types of switch, and here this is the connections, cross console. Then we have copper straight through, fiber phone, fiber optic, etc. And here this is serial DC and serial DT. So we'll have a look of all these properties, or you can say the connection. So let's create a network now. We'll take PCs. So I'll go in the end devices and then I'll click here generic and simply drag and drop over here. So click and click. So I'll take two PCs. Okay, and to connect these PCs I require a switch. So I'll take a generic switch. Okay, let me take this a bit down. Okay, so switch, and let me connect this. So if you are not aware of which cable to choose in order to connect a switch to a PC or simply to a router, so you can click on this, which is automatically choose connection type. So you don't need to keep in mind for which particular component you have to connect or which wire you have to use. So simply I'll check over here as automatic choose connection type and click over on this PC. Bring it over here, your mouse, and just click it again on this component switch. Okay, so again same for this PC1. So I have now made a network of two PCs with a switch. Okay, so now I want to extend this network. So I'll take again a switch and a PC, a generic PC. Okay, so for testing we can use this generic PCs. So just for testing the network, we must use generic PC. We have others also, phone, TV, but that's not in our syllabus, or that's not our part. So we'll skip that thing, and let's connect it. Okay, so PC to switch. Okay, so you can see the switch has been configured. This green light means that your network has been configured. So switch automatically configures itself. We don't need to configure switch. So routers and PCs need to be configured. So we'll write down a note over here for the IP addresses which we will be assigning. So 198.168.1.2. For this PC we have IP as say 192.168.1.3. So to understand IP addresses, you need to have a good understanding of classes, class A, B, C, D. Without that you won't be able to understand. Okay, so next one we have as 192.168.1.3. okay, we have done with 1.3. we'll take 2.168.2.2. okay, and the last one we'll take as 192.168.2.3. fine. So this is, you can see it comes under 192 it comes under class C. Okay, so this address comes in class C, class C addressing. Fine. So now we'll configure this. We'll assign an IP address for this PC. We'll go into the desktop IP configuration and IP address 192.168.1.2. You can see it over here. Okay, and on clicking on subnet mask, on clicking on tab, we can automatically see the subnet mask for class C addressing, which is three net IDs, which is 255, 255, 255, and one host ID, which is 0. Okay, these are my net IDs, these are my host ID. Okay, and no default gateway, because as of now we don't use any router. So default gateway address is nothing but the address of your router. So we don't have any router over here as of now, so we'll keep it as it is. Fine. For this PC1 now, I have desktop IP config and my IP address, which is 192.168.1.3. Okay, so we'll skip the default gateway. Again for this PC2, the same thing. I have 192.168.2.2, and for the last one, again 192.168.2.3. Okay, so I've done with my PCs. Okay, so let us test with the packets. So we have over here as viewport, where you can pass we have real time and simulation time. Okay, we are in real time mode, so you can test in both manner. Let us first one is through command prompt. So in your PC0, you can ping the address of PC1 and check whether, so ping command is used to check whether your PC is active or not on network. Okay, so your destination PC. So I'll say 192.168.1.3, which is nothing but this PC1 address. So I'll ping and see. Yes, I'm able to get the reply message, and you can see packet sent 4, received 4, lost 0. That means 4 packets are sent and 4 are being received. That means I'm able to communicate with this PC and this is active. Whenever reply comes, that means this particular PC is active on a network. The second method is through real time simulation time. Just take a message from this icon, click over here, place it over here, and second one to the destination where you want to pass the particular packet, and place it over. You can see successful. Okay, if you want some more you can say into more picturized representation, then you have over here, get into this simulation. I was in real time, get into this simulation mode. Okay, place your packet here and here, and simply say capture. So you can see your packet has been traveling to switch, and then from switch to PC. So this is how your packet travels, and you can see in progress, and finally it will say successful. So it takes time based on the time we have specified. So that's how. So this is the two methods through which you can check your packets. Fine. So I'll delete this, and you can check it again from, let's check from PC1 to PC0, and it shows in progress. So it takes some time. I think, okay, I was in simulation mode, so I'll cut back to real time, and again I'll check PC1 to PC0. You can see successful. Fine. So we have now we'll configure this PC2 IP config. Oh, we have configured. Okay, so we'll check for this PC2 to PC3 successful, and PC3 to PC2 successful. Okay, now we'll check for PC0 to PC2. Okay, so you can see you get failed. Obviously you will get failed output, because you don't have any connection over here from PC0 to PC2. We have only from switch to PC0s and PC1. So how will it pass? We need to have something called as router, which will route your packet right to the destination, or simply to other PCs which are there available. So I'll take a router. Let me delete this. I'll take a router, let's say 1841. Again, you can take any router. 1841 generic. We'll take 1841, and we'll connect it with automatically connection type, and we need to now configure this router. So we have a IP address, right, which is 192.168.1.2. Fine. So our router's address or default gateway would be network address plus 1. So for this IP address, which is 192.168.1.2 and here 1.3, its network address would be 192. Let me write network address would be 192.168.1.0. So this is the network address for this particular network. Okay, why 192.168.1.0? Because it is class C, and in class C we have reserved net IDs as first 3 bits, right, which is nothing but 1, 2 and 3, and host ID is the last bit in class C. So that is the reason we have 192.168.1.0. So if it was 10.1.0.0, then the network address would be 10.0.0.0. As it is in class A, only first net ID would be present and the rest host IDs would be 0. And your router's address, or simply your default gateway, would be your network address plus 1. So which would be for this network is 192.168.1.1. okay. Similarly for this network address would be router's address would be 192.168.2.1. So this was our router's address. So let's configure. You can see now question arises where to write this particular addresses. So we have over here, on hover of this particular wire, bring your mouse over here on this wire and you can see FA0/0 and here FA2/1. So in routers interfaces FA0/0 we need to put this particular address, which is 192.168.1.1. So there are two types. First one is you can enter through CLI mode, and second one is directly in the config mode in the interface, and in fast Ethernet 0/0 directly put your address. So first we'll try with the config, which is the easiest one. In FA0/0 we'll write 192.168.1.1 and subnet marks is automatically comes for class C, and don't forget to check this port status as on. Fine. So you can see green light appears over here, and switch, we don't need to configure switch automatically configures itself. Fine. Now this is red line, we need to bring this to green line now. So again we check it over here, which interface is FA0/1. So get into routers, and now this time we'll type through command line CLI. So just exit from whatever you are, okay, until this router comes. Fine. Now enable EN with the help of EN command. Next you need to get into the interfaces FA0/1. So I'll type int, which stands for interfaces FA0/1. Fine. Okay, it says some wrong output. Okay, we have not got into config T. So again we'll start with the same command. We'll say en, okay, and then get into config T. Okay, config T, you need to get into the configuration mode, and then inside this we have to type int FA0/1. Our interface was 0/1, right? And now we'll pass the IP address. We'll say IP as add the IP address which we want to add, which is 192.168.2.1. subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Fine. So this is how you add the interfaces, and simply say enter, and last you have to say no shut. No shut means no, don't shut down, okay, because we can say shut down, but here we have as no shut, which will enable the port status to on, okay, and then we'll simply say exit. So you can see this has been configured, green light, but switch is still configuring itself. So switch takes some time to configure itself. So till the time we'll just pass the packets and check. Okay, so you can see it is showing still failed because switch has not yet configured. So we'll wait for some time in order for the switch to get configured. So we'll test from PC0 to router. Okay, you can see successful. Fine. From this router to this from this PC to this router, successful. Fine. So you can see it has been configured. Now we'll pass the packets and check from PC0 to PC2. Okay, so it is saying failed. Okay, it means it needs some more time. So we'll give some time for them to get configured, so don't panic, it takes some time. So till the time we'll test from this PC to this router, successful. From this PC to this router, successful. Okay, so now let us try to check it again. Okay, so it is showing as failed. So is it the problem of router or any configuration which we have not done? So as you can see, it is still showing failed. Okay, so let's try to test again for this PC to this PC. Okay, so still it is showing fail. So what is the reason? So well, we have specified, let me delete this. In this PC0, we have in the IP, we have not specified the default gateway. So whenever we want to enter into some zoo or any national park, we always have a gateway, right? Whenever that gate is open and then we get into that park or simply the jungle, without that we are not allowed. So same way in this, we need to open the gateway. Fine, we need to give the address of the gateway in order to open, so that the packets have been transferred from one PC to another. So the default gateway, as I told earlier, it is the router's IP address. So I'll type the default gateway for this particular address. It was 192.168.1.1, and for PC1 it was 192, the same .168.1.1. For this PC it was again in IP 192.168.2.1. okay, and for this PC it was the same 192.168.2.1. okay, so now let's try again sending the packets from this PC to this PC, successful. So that was the error. I would not say error, it was the pending job which we had not done. Okay, passing the default gateway. Now from this PC to this PC, successful. Okay, from this PC to first PC, successful. Fine, from again this PC to this PC, successful. So this is how you configure a network. So this is the part 1 of static routing. So actual static routing will perform in part 2, because before performing part 2 you need to have an understanding of how network works, how to make a configuration. Okay, so stay tuned for the further more practicals. Okay, thank you so much, and please do subscribe.